With the release of the OnePlus 5, OnePlus is looking to continue their attempt at killing other flagships. When compared to the Google Pixel XL, is the 5 that much better, or is it better at all? So when you compare these two on paper, there's no question the 5 has the XL locked down. The younger phone sports the newer, fresher spec sheet complete with a Snapdragon 835, either 6 or 8 GB of RAM, Bluetooth 5.0, and dual rear cameras. The XL does have the higher res display and the larger battery, but to be honest, the 1080p display on the 5 still looks great, and it also supports a wider range of color. In terms of design, both are extremely simple, nothing flashy, and they both got their share of hatred towards how they look. Large bezels, big chins, big foreheads, and neither came with anything that really separated them from the rest of the phones out there style-wise. The XL came out last year, and Google didn't really have all the time in the world to design the phone, and we're already getting glimpses of what the next-gen version will look like, so at least it's got those excuses. But the 5 came out not too long ago, and I think most people were hoping for something more futuristic. Due to the size of OnePlus as a manufacturer, however, they weren't exactly able to pull that off, but I'm sure as time goes on, they'll get there. But to be honest, as you start using these phones, the design sort of disappears and the user experience begins to take over. And speaking of user experience, both of these phones are absolute experts at delivering a great one. They're both smooth, they both handle daily tasks very easily, but the OnePlus 5 is without a doubt the snappier of the two. It just feels quicker on its feet, so to speak. That's not to say that the XL is slow, however. It can still hold its own, and it hasn't been left in the dust or anything like that, and in fact, I find the XL to be more on the smoother side of things, but in terms of overall speed, the 5 has the XL beat. Charging is a perfect example of that thanks to Dash Charge. The XL does have its own fast charging capabilities, but it's definitely not as fast as OnePlus's Dash Charge. This speed continues with the 5's fingerprint reader, and it's one of the fastest and one of the most accurate ones on the market. And that's not to take anything away from the XL's reader, it's accurate as well, and with both, I rarely find myself having to reposition due to a misread. They are both great. Really, one of the few things that the XL does faster than the OnePlus 5 is run out of battery. Although the XL has the larger battery, it also has the higher res display along with the less efficient Snapdragon 821 processor. I get around 4 to 5 hours of screen on time with the XL, whereas with the 5, I get about 5 to 6, sometimes even 6.5 to 7 hours of screen on time. Now, the software experience with both of these phones is somewhat similar, with the XL running pure stock Android 7.1.2 and the 5 not too far behind, running 7.1.1 underneath Oxygen OS. Oxygen OS, of course, being a near stock version of Android with some neat tweaks like UI customization, screen off gestures, display color profiles, and just little things here and there to sweeten up the experience a bit. However, Android enthusiasts would probably go for the Pixel because it runs true, pure stock Android, and the latest versions are always going to come to Pixel devices first, and will continue to do so for a good long time. Can't really say the same for OnePlus phones, unfortunately. As for the cameras, well, this is an easy one. The Pixel, in my eyes at least, still has the best camera on a smartphone, if not top 3. If I'm going somewhere where I know I'll be taking pictures, the XL is the phone I'm taking with me 9.5 out of 10 times. The 5's camera is nothing to sneeze at though. OnePlus is very proud of its dual lens setup on the back, and I gotta say, it really does take some nice looking shots. And with this dual lens setup, OnePlus included portrait mode to help you get that bokeh effect, and it's honestly not a deciding factor, but it is something really cool to just mess around with. Overall, the 5 shows that it's not just the premium price phones that can take great shots, but if I had to choose a winner, XL all day. So to sum things up, I'd still choose the XL to be my daily driver. Pure stock Android with faster updates. I prefer its fingerprint reader placement, the higher res display, and especially that camera. But it's the OnePlus 5 I'd recommend to buyers. It's newer and has better specs, better battery life. It still has a solid camera. It's got the more customizable OS. It has that alert slider. It's faster in pretty much every way, and most importantly, it's cheaper. The baseline model can be grabbed for under $500, and I have to say, all things considered, the 5 is the better option. So while the 5 still hasn't flattened any competition, much less the first gen XL, it shows that it can definitely hang with the big boys while staying below that $500 mark. So what do you guys think of the Pixel XL versus the OnePlus 5? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, we would love to hear your feedback. Anyway, that does it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That does it for me. I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching.